welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's up, party people? Welcome back. All right, we're at home. We're back in New York, the Big Apple. We're back, no longer doing hostage-type videos from a guest room. You know, who do we get in the streets this morning? Kevin, that is right. Happy W Draft Day. A lot of Haley Van Lith, how about that? Entering the portal. That was pretty wild. How super teams in the college world. We got Sneeps here. Milo, we're going to talk about this. We got Colin Newsome in the chat. Mac Attacks here. We the people. The common man. Snoopaloop. Garen's here. Stubbs. Sneeps. We got Cameron Quinn. The Chickens. Perfect cereal in the house. Courtside. Good morning. Good morning. Do me a favor. Let's engagement farm the hell out of this stream. Let's like this show, like the stream, subscribe to Teamy Hold, and put hashtag Rudy into the chat. Yeah, you scared when the beard comes up. I know we had to do there was a little content you might be getting tomorrow, so had to trim down. Ooh, Stone Cold in the house. There we go. Josh Ness is here. Sean Grant, good morning. All the gang's all here. We got an exciting week. We say goodbye to the Houston Rockets. We say goodbye to the San Antonio Spurs, the Dallas Mavericks, the Washington Wizards. We don't have to talk about them anymore, although we do have to talk about the Mavericks a little bit. We've got some great stuff this week, though. So tomorrow, I'm figuring out the timing. Today, actually, excuse me. We'll have a live before lock for the baseball side of things. We're going to take a look at some stacks. I believe lock is in the afternoon again today, so stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, we're going to do a live before lock-esque show to get us ready for the playoffs because that locks tomorrow for the play-in game. So we've got that. Mike, you get a whitelist email from Vivi. I don't know, honestly. I feel like I instant delete all of that stuff. But yeah, so we've got that going on. We've got, what else do we have? This week? The 89 Cavs will return. We'll have some shot tank. We'll have some playback. We got a little bit of everything. Keep an eye on the short form content too. If you guys saw on Friday, we dropped our Denver Nuggets good thing, bad thing. So we've got a bunch of those coming out this week. We've got a little mustache content. We've got, although this isn't really a mustache, but I didn't have a big beard at the time. So we work with what we got. You know what I mean? We work with what we got. So a lot of content coming at you this week. So as always, stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter. There's still time. We're doing a massive So Rare giveaway that we're going to announce. That we're announcing the winners today. So if you haven't gone over to our Twitter, you can find it there on Team Hold NFT. We firing up. We're giving away a Rudy Gobert rare, which we'll talk about. Rudy, Andrew Wiggins limited, Tyrese Maxey rare, and there's another limited, maybe a Sabonis limited too. So a lot of good stuff going on. All right, we're going to cover, like Colin was asking, what's the schedule for the play-in game? So I believe that tips off tomorrow. The play-in, we got Miami and Atlanta. We got Toronto and Chicago. Atlanta and Miami is tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern. Minnesota against the Lakers at 10 Eastern. Then the 8-9s play each other on Wednesday. You get the Bulls and the Raps, OKC and the Pels. And then on Friday, the winner of the 9-10s plays the loser of the 7-8. So there we go. All right, one more time before we get into and talk about Rudy. Like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Rudy. So everybody saw this on Twitter yesterday, I'm sure. No one was actually watching the game, but I'm sure you saw it on Twitter. So right before halftime, Kyle Anderson told Rudy to block some more shots, and then Rudy punched him in the chest, and then Rudy was sent home. I mean, that's incredible. I don't remember the last time a player was sent home by the organization. I think that's like that he got to put in timeout so bad that they sent him home. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I'm sure it's not the only time a player's been sent home. I mean, players have been ejected before, right? I don't remember the last time a player was like, "Hey, man, it's actually better if you go home." So that was nuts. And listen, I mean, you can overreact all you want, right? Yeah, they almost fought in the locker room too, apparently. Um, Minnesota won the game, and I mean that is a stupid loss for the New Orleans Pelicans. Ant-Man is awesome, dude. Anthony Edwards I mean, he had some dumb plays in that game, but like truly made that W happen. So Minnesota getting that W, even though Rudy gets sent home. We'll talk more about Rudy too. Even though he gets sent home, Minnesota gets the W. They will take on the Lakers in the excuse me, in the 7-8 game. So Minnesota's screwed. Minnesota is screwed. And they're screwed in the sense that this is going to be something that they're going to have to deal with like for the foreseeable future. So Rudy over the next couple of years makes like 31 million, 34 million, and then 36 million per year. Like that's how the salary goes up. But even in the short term, right? Does Rudy play in the playing game? Because do they just keep so maybe the organization decides no. I mean, maybe the organization decides, yeah, dude, it's fine. We handled it. He left at the halfway point. Like he apologized. The team voted on it. They decided he could play. Does the NBA suspend him? Because I feel like if he had punched another player on another team, right? If that happened, I feel like he would get suspended for a game. No. So I wonder if the NBA, my guess is the NBA doesn't do anything because we're going to talk about the Mavericks here in a second. And I just think that's going to be par for the course for the NBA. They're just not going to address it. So anyways, there's a shot. The team doesn't let Rudy play. There's a team shot. The NBA doesn't let Rudy play. Anyways, the Wolves will be playing the Lakers in the first game. The Wolves are also without, shout out Aaron Borland, who brought this up before like the mainstream media did. Jaden McDaniels, the all defensive team NBA player, most likely, is not going to be able to play the game because he punched the wall going into half. Punched the wall, fractured his hand. So Minnesota is in trouble. Minnesota is in trouble here. I mean, the Lakers too. We'll talk about the Lakers a little bit more, but I mean, obviously, it's not a great matchup. And the winner of that game will take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Sean said, did the NBA suspend Draymond? I think they pretend everything's all good because they spent too much on him. No, they didn't suspend Draymond. Draymond was away from the team for a little bit, but they didn't suspend him. Was it a clear punch or kind of a push? It's kind of hard to tell. I'm leaning punch, though. Yeah. I don't think, long story short, the NBA is not going to do anything. The NBA is not going to do anything. So anyways, Minnesota is going to play the Lakers in the first round. That was a storyline from yesterday. Shout out Rudy Gobert because everybody thought listen, last day of the season, pretty boring. Not a lot going on. And then Rudy decided to punch Bones Highland and Mason Plumlee. Got into it. That was weird. But okay, so anyways, I think that's it on Minnesota. I don't want to talk about them too much because I just don't think it matters. I think Minnesota, best case scenario, Minnesota plays Denver and loses in 5 in the first round. I don't think Minnesota has a real shot. And this proves it. This just proves it. I don't think they can win a series. But I know there was a conversation around this in the Discord. I mean, this really will go down as one of the worst trades of all time. When this is said and done, this is going to be on the Pantheon. This is going to be top tier worst trades of all time. And because just the contract alone for Rudy, who is clearly declining in defensive abilities. I mean, that statistics back that up. The defensive analytics are already pretty bad. So just the contract of Rudy, like Rudy for Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler is not better than Rudy. We can relax on that. He's not better than Rudy. However, he's a rookie. He's going to be on a rookie deal. He's shown that he can do like a B- version of him with some offensive upside. That doesn't include the all of the assets they got, right? So they got one of the Lakers' first round picks for Vanderbilt, and who else went over? Beasley. They got all of those picks for the next 5 years, and they don't have to pay Rudy, which is like the biggest thing. And Minnesota now is going to be in this weird spot where their contract stuff is going to be a mess. And because you're paying Cat, because you're going to be paying Anthony Edwards, and because you're now paying Rudy Gobert, you're not going to have any flexibility. And that's why there's already been murmurs. I think the Athletic reported this before, of like, if they're going to make a move, it's Karl-Anthony Towns, which is insane. Now, who knows? Maybe they go out, they win this game against the Lakers. They go 6 or 7 games against the Grizzlies. Yeah, I don't know. I think the trade sits right behind Simmons and Harden on the bad trade pantheon. Because I guess what did the net? Well, yeah, but you say that though. But what did the Nets? I guess they. Yeah, I guess you're right. That was pretty bad. But anyways, that is going to go down. That is going to go down as one of the worst trades, I think, when all is said and done. Anyway, so that's it. Let's talk about Dallas. Let's talk about Dallas for a second, because I was kind of annoyed that this happened on a Friday night and we couldn't talk about it. So, I mean, you guys all know that Dallas is in the playoffs. On Wednesday, Luka comes out and he's like, we're not tanking. I'm playing the rest of the way. And then on Friday, a flurry of news comes out around like 2 o'clock, right? Where it's like Kyrie's not playing, Josh Green's not playing, Christian Wood's not playing, Luka's playing a quarter. And the reason Luka played was because it was Slovenian night. That was the only reason Luka played, Slovenian night. So they go out there, they lose a game to the Bulls. They almost won it. The Bulls, who were also sitting DeRozan, LaVine, and everybody else, they went out there, and like both teams wanted to lose. So Dallas gets the loss. They lose again yesterday to the Spurs by like 14,000. And then, so now they, secure basically a lottery pick. Jason Kidd was pretty blunt in a press conference after the game, where he's kind of like, yeah, you're going to have to talk to the organization. The organization decided, they basically said they didn't want to win anymore, and they wanted to focus on the future. And then the NBA immediately announces they are launching an investigation into the Mavericks, which to me is the funniest shit in the world. And I saw Milo at the top of the show in the comments said, could they lose their first round pick? There's no, yes, they technically could. There's no way this happens. Because if it does happen, they then have to, it sets this precedent that they're going to have to, not retroactively, because you're not going to go back and punish other teams, but there's just what we saw Portland do. Kevin Knox was playing 35 minutes a game. A guy named Jonathan Williams, right? Chicago resting all of their guys. San Antonio tanked for an entire year. Houston Rocket. Well, I don't even know if the Rockets tanked. So, yes, they did, they basically came out and admitted it. You see Mark Cuban's reaction when they missed the shot, because the Mavericks had a chance to, I don't know if it was to tie or to win the game there at the end, and Cuban kind of puts his head in his hands and then comes out and is smiling. So I don't know. Perfect Serial said, isn't there a 24% chance 11 to 14 move up in the draft and make them lose their pick? There is a shot, yeah. But Chicago had their spot locked. Well, no, because Chicago moves up if Dallas wins, right? I'm pretty sure Dallas and Chicago were right neck and neck. But wait, why is it okay to throw game? You know what I'm saying, though? That's still throwing the game. So I don't know. I still don't think they can do it. But isn't the difference that Dallas wasn't technically eliminated? Portland wasn't technically eliminated when they started this 3 weeks ago. Jonathan Williams is playing for 2 weeks now. So why, do you know what I'm saying? So when is it okay? So it's just not okay to do it on the last game? You know what I mean? We've seen teams do this all the time. So I don't know. I don't think anything comes of this. I don't think anything comes. Oh, we got Jordan Santaga in the chat. Yeah, I don't think anything comes of it, but drama, baby, drama. And then there was a report that came out that said the Mavericks are nervous that Luka is going to request a trade, and then Luka came out and he was like, "No, I'm not." Which, I mean, like, what's Luka gonna say, anyways? I also, when it's sources like this too, I mean, so many times front offices and other organizations will be like, "Yeah, dude, I'm pretty nervous Luka's gonna ask for a trade." Yeah, because of course you want Luka to ask for a trade. Regulators said the NBA is considered relegation as a punishment for tanking teams, where two of the worst NBA teams would be demoted to the G League. The only reason I would love relegation, man, I would actually, we're gonna keep the headphones off. It's too hot in here. I would love relegation, but like they'd have to restructure it, right? Because the G League, that's like those teams are connected. So you wouldn't be able to do it if the teams are connected. If it's like the Boston minor league team coming up. Isn't the issue because they did it to make sure the Knicks didn't get it the pick? Yeah, and so that they get the but still though. Still. It's not like the Knicks won't ever get the pick. They'd get the pick next year. Do you know what I mean though? I'm like, I get what you're saying. I just think like if they make this decision on the Mavericks, they're gonna I'm not saying that they shouldn't make the decision. I'm just saying they won't make the decision. It's gonna set a weird precedent. So I don't know. I'm fascinated to see what's going to happen. But anyways, that was like the drama. That was most of the drama for this weekend. Also, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Rudy. D-Rose says, I don't understand the Lucas story. That's silly. Of course the Mavs are nervous. He'd ask for a trade. Every team that has a star is nervous. They will seek a trade. Yeah. And because listen, they don't have a lot of options. Right? Like they've created a world where Kyrie Irving has leverage. Isn't that nuts? Wait, is it Daniel's birthday? Where did I miss the Daniel's birthday? Happy birthday, Daniel. Let's go, D Rose. Happy birthday, Daniel. But you know what I mean? They've created this world where Kyrie Irving has leverage. Because what if they don't sign and trade Kyrie, or if they don't just sign Kyrie, they're just going to get nothing for Kyrie? And Jack Settleman, sources say, Jack Settleman tweeted out something yesterday that they're like, people are overreacting. Dallas is fine. Like, when's the last time Dallas has signed a free agent? And I think there's this misconception. It's like Mark Cuban, dude. Fucking Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, baby. But like, name me the free agents they've gotten. Like, and I tweeted this out too. If Atlanta wasn't the dumbest organization in basketball and traded Trae Young, traded for Trae Young instead of taking Luka, or if the Sacramento Kings weren't dumb as shit and took Marvin Bagley, we'd be looking at Mark Cuban way differently, right? Mark Cuban without Luka, I think like we're not talking about this like fun owner anymore. This past season, they let Jalen Brunson go, which then he came out and said like, oh, it's his dad's fault. Sure, you had an opportunity to sign him. They were like open to negotiations way before free, like the summer. They could have done it in January. They let Jalen Brunson go. They didn't even sign and trade Jalen Brunson. They did nothing with Jalen Brunson. They got Christian Wood and JaVale McGee. Those were the signings this season. Name me the last time anybody like went to Dallas as a free agent. It's crazy. I know. Sean was saying the DeAndre Jordan story. Remember that? JJ Redick went and saved him. D-Rose says, this is also my 2-year anniversary of being on a team hold stream, ripping a season. There we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Anyways, I think Dallas is like legit in trouble. I don't know if Luka's going to go. I just don't see them getting better anytime soon. I don't see them getting better anytime soon. Anyways, all right, let's take a look at some of the playoff matchups, and then we're gonna do some fun award end of the season award stuff because I put out a tweet thread yesterday. I figured we could talk about that. All right, let's look. Here we go. Let's take a look at the bracket. So we'll skip the plans. We'll just do the 2-6. Let's start in the East. Boston and I'm sorry, the 3-6 and the 4-5. I guess the only ones we're talking about. Philly and Brooklyn. Does anyone give Brooklyn a shot here? Does anyone give Brooklyn a shot to like make a little bit of a run? I think Philly probably does this in 5. Takes care of business in 5. I know we like to make fun of Harden, but my guess is they don't have a problem with this. I think Bridges will put up some great numbers. Spencer Dinwiddie's been on an assist tear, but Philly's healthy. Embiid is healthy. Harden is healthy. Maxi's good. I don't know. I feel like Philly shouldn't have a problem here. Does anybody else? Chicken Frick says, "Oh no, this is an insane take, Chicken Frick. Oh my god. I used to think Ayton over Luca was a miss, not so much anymore. Luca is Kyrie 2.0, toxic on every level. What are you talking about? This is an insane take. You guys are ready to ship off DeAndre Ayton because he was playing video games, Chicken Frick. You guys still don't like him. That is wild. That is wild. And why is he like what toxicity stuff has he done? That is a crazy ass take, Chicken Frick. Good Lord. That's fun though. Oh, you're talking about the playing game. Perfect Zero says the higher seed needs one win. Yeah, so if the winner of Miami and Atlanta and the winner of the Lakers in Minnesota, they immediately are the 7 seed and they'll take on the 2 seed. And then the loser takes on the winner of the 9-10 game, and then the winner of that game is the 8 seed. You'll take Ayton over Luke all day. Jeez, you guys wouldn't take Ayton last year. I feel like I was the only one that was like pro Ayton last time we were here. It's crazy. That's crazy. He's not Kyrie, but Luka's a terrible teammate. That fine. That's different than toxic Kyrie 2.0, and then you'd rather have DeAndre Ayton. That's crazy talk. Anyways, all right. Let's take Philly in 5. Philly in 5. The Cleveland Knicks series is fascinating, right? We don't have. I know Eric Fernandez is in the chat. Anybody got any Knicks takes? Like, do we think Randall is back? Are we going? Is anybody taking the Bing Bong Boys? Is anybody taking the Knicks here in the first round? I still think Cleveland is the better team, but I wouldn't be surprised. This feels like it could go 7. Like if you told, I think I'm going to take Cleveland in 7. But if you told me the Knicks beat them, I wouldn't be stunned. I feel like this is going to be pretty close. Jalen Brunson's been awesome. Randall's been, when he's out there, he's great. Quentin Grimes has been awesome. Emmanuel Quickly's been good. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, Brunson versus Mitchell will be fun. I feel like the Knicks could win. Fernandez says you know it. I wouldn't guarantee either team is pretty close. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like a lot of my best ball bags, I have a lot of Cleveland in there just because it fit where I was drafting. And I don't feel confident in that at all. Like I could see, I feel like home court advantage will matter here. That's kind of why I'm leaning Cleveland. So there we go. 2 best players on the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, probably, with Darius Garland right behind. Chickenberg, you guys were literally talking about how DeAndre Ayton was a cancer in the locker room. That was like a conversation that was happening like 5 months ago. The coach didn't talk to him all season. This is crazy. This is crazy takes. And it's early in the morning. These aren't even comparable. All right. The problem with the Knicks is that they don't win consistently at home. It's a bigger deal in the playoffs, especially with Cleveland. Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be pretty close. I'm really excited about that series. Colin says Donovan Mitchell is clutch in the playoffs. Well, listen, I brought this up before. He's pretty clutch at losing and scoring 50 points. Right? He scores a lot of points in the playoffs. He does, but he loses a lot in the playoffs. To Denver. Remember that series against the Clippers where Kawhi Leonard tore his ACL and they still lost? But I love him. All right. So anyways, I think we're agreeing. No one feels confident one way or the other, right? No one feels confident one way or the other. This is just going 6 or 7. Let's do the West. So Clippers, it sounds like there's going to be no Paul George, right? So no Paul George for the Clippers. That means it's Kawhi and Russ time with a little Eric Gordon. Is this Suns in 5? Suns in 5? I think that's where I'm leaning here. I don't think the Clippers. I mean, like Kawhi can be the best player on the court, but the Clippers won't have. They'll have maybe the best player on. They won't because KD is better than Kawhi. But say Kawhi is the best player in the series. If Kawhi is the best player in the series, they have the first best guy, and then what? The 6th best guy? Because I'm probably taking Booker. Well, maybe not Chris Paul at this point. I don't know. Is anybody taking the Clippers here? MacTech is weird that we are in the best time of the year for basketball. And you know what, MacTech, though? I totally get that, but here's what's going to happen. we're going to get to Tuesday, and there's only going to be 2 games on, and their winner go home. Well, not really. Their winner play a second game and go home. And then the same thing on Wednesday, same thing on Thursday. So I totally get that burnt out vibe, but it's going to be, you'll be right back in it. By Saturday, when we have like 4 fire or 6 fire playoff games, it's going to be great. Suns in 5 sounds very correct without PG. Suns in 3. Mitchell was also like a 21-year-old. No, okay. If someone, I was responding to someone saying that Donovan Mitchell is clutch in the playoffs. That's it. That's it. He did score 50 points and he lost in series. Yes, he did do that. I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just saying. Let's see what else we got here. Clippers and Neverland. Yeah, if KD gets hurt, I'm taking the Clips. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Suns in 5. All right, let's get to Golden State and like the beam. I think everyone has written off the Kings. No, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. We haven't done a poll yet this morning. Let's engage with the audience, as they say. Kings or Warriors? Let's see. Kings, Warriors. All right, let me know. Donovan has one of the highest scoring averages in playoff. No, again, I said what did I say, Stan? I said he scores 50 points a game in series where the team loses. So you're right. He does have one of the highest scoring averages in playoff history. And I don't think they've made a conference finals, right? So if we say Joker can't get it done in the playoffs and he's made it to the conference finals, right? Embiid hasn't made it to the conference finals. He's played well in the playoffs. All I'm saying, very high score, incredible player in the playoffs on teams that have lost. That's it. Doesn't that mean he's clutch and his team sucks around him? Okay, I'm just saying, you got to have that same energy for every single take. Every single take. If you're, it's not his fault. That's all. That's all. All right. Now he's Jordan. Are we saying he's Jordan? All right. What else we got here in the chat? Work the poll. Yeah. Let's see how the DJ local 64% say Warriors. Dude, I think this is closer. Yeah, the number ones. Dude, they didn't get out of the second round. You're right. He was awesome in the regular season. So were the Utah Jazz. He scored a ton of points in the playoffs. And they lost. I don't know what to tell you guys. All right. Let's I think the Kings are going to keep this closer than people think. I think people are ready to just say Warriors in 5. The Warriors, and everyone's like, oh, they haven't been healthy. The Warriors were bad on the road when they were healthy, though. Right? So when they did have Wiggins, Curry, Clay, Draymond, they were still losing games on the road. So I'm not ready to just say that now that they have Wiggins back, who's yet to play a game by BT Dubs, that they're going to go into Sacramento and light the beam a bunch. That being said, they have been playing really well down the stretch. And I mean, maybe they are a slight favorite, but the Kings have to win the first 2 games. I feel strongly about that. The Kings have to go to the Bay Area up 2-0. They need to go up 2-0. Jimmy Peacock's in the house. Also, yeah, so let me check the poll again here. What do we got? 61% say Warriors, 39% say Kings. Yeah. All right, I'm ending it. I guess I'm going Warriors too, maybe like Warriors in 6. Because I do feel like if they split it and then go win back-to-backs over there, I mean, if they split in Sacramento, then go over and play Golden State, win both those games, Sacramento's in trouble. I will say, I think this path for whoever wins the 3-6 seed to the conference finals is kind of nice. And I know I've been pumping up Memphis a little bit. The news came out this weekend. Memphis did like a series of weird news. Mike, embrace your role as Donovan Mitchell, Skip Bayless. Oh, I'm not even out on Donovan Mitchell. I'm just waiting for you guys to make a compelling argument. All you've said is he scored 50 points in the playoffs. That's it. But anyways, the winner of the 3-6 matchup is playing the winner of the Grizz Lakers. And I really don't want to get up here. I'm assuming the Lakers beat the Wolves, by the way. I really don't want to get up here and say, I think the Lakers can beat the Grizzlies. But all right. So in the last 31 games, the Lakers are 20-11. Playing better defense. Anthony Davis has been awesome. LeBron looks somewhat like LeBron. I think the Grizzlies are a better team. I think they are going to win this series. I am nervous about the Steven Adams stuff. So Steven Adams is done for the playoffs, it sounds like, or at least the first round. And the reason we know this is they released rookie Kennedy Chandler, which is kind of not that Kennedy Chandler was playing, but it's really bizarre to like release a rookie as you're heading into the playoffs. And the reason being is because they have no Steven Adams. They have no Brandon Clark. So really they have Xavier Tillman and then they have Jaren Jackson Jr. as their two bigs. That's it. They've got their two bigs. That's it. And so they brought up not Roddy, Kenneth Lofton Jr., who had like an insane game. And he had an insane game yesterday. It was like 42 points and 14 boards or something like that. But I do think that depth down low is going to be a problem. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to win Defensive Player of the Year, probably. He's awesome. But if there's one thing about like Triple J that we know is that he's like loves foul trouble. So if he gets into trouble and they're relying on Xavier Tillman and Kenneth Lofton Jr., I think there's a problem. And I think the Lakers are a team that can do that, right? You've got Anthony Davis and you've got LeBron who can get down low and bang and post, right? And so I think that matchup is a little tricky. I also think like if the Kings ended up winning and going to the second round, that would be an interesting series because Sabonis would go nuts. However, because they don't play defense, it's just going to be the Ja Morant pick and roll show. And to go back to the Lakers series, I do think like with the way the Lakers play defense, one of the biggest problems that we've seen from the Grizzlies in past playoff runs, and I think this remains true this year, is they rely a lot of their offense on transition, right? So creating turnovers, getting on the break, that kind of shit. And then it's Ja Morant pick and roll. Those are like the two types of offenses they have. You're not going to see the same amount of transition and turnover in the playoffs. That always happens, right? The intensity from the regular in the playoffs is different from the regular season. So you're not going to see the same type of speed. The game slows down a little bit. We saw that happen when they played the Warriors last year in the playoffs. And I know Ja got hurt in that series, but you still saw that happen. So I'm a little bit nervous. It's weird. I feel both bullish and bearish on the Grizzlies. Like I do think the Grizzlies have so many dudes. They've got a lot of different guys that can beat you. And Triple J, Bane's been awesome. I mean, Bane's probably going to be the series. So I don't know. I feel a little weird here. I feel like the Lakers could give them hell. I also feel like the Lakers have had to play so hard down the stretch just to get where they are that I wonder if they kind of they've run out of gas a little bit. They're going to be relying a lot on Anthony Davis not getting hurt, has been logging so many minutes down the stretch. Same thing with LeBron. D'Angelo Russell, we're talking about Austin Reeves. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about the Lakers? Let's say it's Lakers Grizzlies. Who are you taking? And while you answer that, I'm not going to do a poll. Just put it in the chat. Lakers Grizz, who do you got? But the whole point of that conversation is to see that like the Grizzlies matchup against the Lakers is so tough. I'm just trying to highlight that 3-6 series between the Kangs and the Warriors. I feel like that's a nice path into the conference finals. And knowing that the Nuggets and Suns probably have to battle with each other before we even get there. D'Lo going to choke again. Grizz. All right, so most people are on the Grizz side of things. Was regulator said frozen? Am I frozen right now? All right, that's our first Lakers. Perfect Cereal is our first Lakers take. Bodavine says Grizz. Maddie Harrison maybe Lakers. Common Man says Lakers. I know it's close. It's close. Man, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Perfect Zero said you can make an argument for 5 to 6 teams in the West to get to the finals. I know, right? Then that's the thing. Like I do, and no one's talking about the Nuggets. No one's talking about the Kings. I get it. The Nuggets have looked bad down the stretch. Nobody thinks they're real until they win a couple of series. Nobody's going to take them seriously. But the fact that we might get a Nuggets Suns second round, and then on the other side, we might get Warriors Lakers, Warriors Grizz, Kings Lakers, Kings Grizz in the second round is fire. That's going to be awesome. And if the Warriors go to the conference finals, then you're getting like Warriors and Nuggets or Warriors and Suns, both very exciting. Like there's so many different paths to just exciting basketball. Nuggets have defensive issues, Superluminal says. That's the like beauty and grossness of the Western Conference, right? You can pick apart every single team. The Denver Nuggets, they have no defense. They have no defense. The Memphis Grizzlies, they have no depth with big men, right? It's Jaren Jackson Jr., Xavier Tillman, and that's it after that. So no depth in the bigs, and they rely on transition offense. Who's the 3 seed? The Kings, like, historically don't play defense. You thought the Nuggets don't play defense? The Kings do not play defense. And they're fresh. As Top Shot Tesla's pointed out a bunch of times in the chat, they don't have playoff experience. The 4 seed is the Suns, who seem like they have the best pathway to the championship, but you're relying on KD, who gets hurt in warm-ups sometimes, Chris Paul, who's my age, and then, like, their 5th starter is going to be somebody like Torrey Craig or Josh Okogie, right? You go to the 5 seed, Clippers don't have Paul George. You go to the 6th seed. The Warriors have like one of the worst teams on the road. They like compare to the Spurs and the Rockets. You go to the 7th seed. We'll assume it's the Lakers. You have LeBron and AD, who are very old and are going to have to do it on the road for the rest of the way. The 8th seed is the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they're punching each other in the 82nd game of the season. The 9th seed is the Pelicans. They've already said Zion's not going to be back. And then the 10th seed is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, every single team has a massive flaw, which makes me think the Eastern Conference is going to be the champ this year. Whether it's the Bucks, the Celtics, even the Sixers, honestly. Whoever comes out of the East, I feel like dubs. But it's the West is wild. We're going straight to the Wild Wild West. All right, let's do like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Rudy, as we're going to give away a little Top Shot moment here in a little bit. 34 entrants, like that stream, subscribe, hashtag Rudy. Let's reset the stage a little bit of what we got going on for the rest of the day, right? So we're cooking with a little So Rare MLB Live Before Lock today. We'll have a playoff show tomorrow for the NBA. We're doing a giveaway over on our Twitter. We also have a big Summer League announcement coming up soon, a bunch of short form content. We got a lot of stuff coming at you this week, so we're very, very excited. I'm sure we'll do some playback. Eastern Conference Finals is the NBA Finals for sure. Man, I pray we get a healthy Celtics and a healthy Bucks. That's what I want to see. What if it's Cleveland Nuggets final? Unlikely, but are you still taking the East? Maybe. No. Denver's better than Cleveland. I think Denver's good. I know nobody wants to give Denver any credit, but Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in the playoffs are insane. They're like what, when we were talking about Donovan Mitchell, same thing, except they won the series. So I'm excited for what they can do. Also, shout them out like they're watching. But the dunker spot, Nekias Duncan and Steve Jones, they're under like JJ Redick's 2 for 3 or 3 for 4, 2 for 4, whatever their podcast network is now. But anyways, I was listening to them on the JJ Redick podcast, and we're talking about their defense and how bad it is, but also like how it relies so heavily on rotations. They're talking about Michael Porter Jr. being just having that like 7-footer basically closing out on the wings. I don't know. I think the Nuggets I think the Suns are the favorites to come out of the West. I do. I think the Suns should beat the Nuggets, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. Andre says the East is winning if someone from the top 3 make it in the East. If the East has a Cinderella run and 4 or lower, it makes the West win. Yeah. Jamal had one good year in the postseason. I think everyone needs to hold a fire a bit on how good they are saying he is there. I mean, he's been pretty good every time they've been in the play. Or did he only play in that one? I thought he played in 2 playoff series, 2 playoff years, but maybe it was just that one. Didn't they go to when they lost to Portland in the second round, right? I can't remember. That was so long ago now. Suns can win without CP3 this year, at least. I don't think that's true. I think they need like a B- version of Chris Paul. I think if you're relying on Cam Payne as your starting point guard, it's going to be tough. If a top 3 team in the East is it really a Cinderella? No, he was saying if it's not the top 3. So if it's 4 or lower. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else playoff wise that we want to talk about? I did a thread on my favorites. Here, let me share screen here again. We'll still do this. Like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Rudy. I'm going to go over to my Twitter. Also, this was a lot of fun. There we go. Shout out Succession. I'm not going to spoil anything. What a stressful episode last night. But I wanted to, I did a thread yesterday. Wait, where is it? Where is it? All right, hold on. Stand by. All right, here we go. So I figured we could just go through this today since the people are voting now, right? We're voting on NBA awards. So I went through, did a list. I'm sure people will be pissed off a bunch. So I'm excited to do it. So the MVP, let's do the MVP first. Also, shout out Rob Hubel, who we got in there. All right, NBA MVP. I got Embiid first, and then I put even though no one likes him, just because that's what he said, and I think that's hilarious. But I think Embiid is your MVP. I think it's gonna when the votes come out too. I don't think it's gonna be super duper close. I said Giannis is gonna finish second over Joker. I don't know if people think that's a wrong take, but I think with the way the Nuggets handled Jokic the last like 3 weeks of the season, where he like barely played, Nuggets lost a couple of games. Embiid is the best play. I mean, I'm sorry, Giannis is the best player on the best team in the league. Feel like he moves into second there, and then Joker third, and then I threw Ben Simmons fourth. And I'll get Ben Simmons some love. Yeah, also great point by Sean. He said Campaign and Biombo both got hurt, so that could be an issue. I agree. I agree. Did I miss anything else in the chat? All right, here we go. Let me keep going. So, sixth man of the year. I think it's going to be Brogdon. I do think it's going to be Brogdon. And Quickly is going to finish second, and Portis is going to finish third. I think this is the hottest. Well, I thought this was going to be the hottest take because I know everybody's been hard as hell for our friend IQ and the Bing Bong Boys. However, I think Brogdon's going to be the one that wins it. And Vegas ended up agreeing. It was funny. All of a sudden, like, I guess the smart money came in and everybody bet on Brogdon. IQ for sixth man of the year. Your man's missed 20% of the season. He did. Malcolm Brogdon missed 20% of the season. Well, luckily, we can fact check that in real time, Andre. We can go to Basketball Reference. I don't think he missed 20%. That's interesting. So we're going to look up Malcolm Brogdon in the year 2023. He played 67 games this year. So 67 of 82. Is that 20%? I don't know. Is that what that is? Let's see. How many games did Quickly play? I still think Brogdon's going to win. I think that's fine. I think if Quickly wins, that's not a problem though. Like, I think it's close enough that, oh yeah, Quickly played 81 games. Wow. You know what? We talked about this before. I think it's interesting. Like, do people agree? Like, does the sixth man have to come off the bench, or is part of the sixth man being available to start if you lose someone? You know what I mean? Because I think, and I don't want to hear Knicks fans or Celtics fans weigh in. Anyways, I think it's going to go Brogdon, Quickly, and Portis. Brogdon, Quickly, and Portis. And then if I'm wrong, listen, all the Bing Bong Boys, you can just scream Bing Bong, all the stuff. Wait, which part? Which part is the whole point? I provided two options. Two options. Anyways, here we go. Mathurin has better stats than all those guys. Oh, get out of here. Gross. All right, let's go. Most improved. It's okay. Off the bench. Okay. So then it should be Brogdon because Quickly's numbers vastly improved when he was starting when Brunson missed time. And then when he was inserted in the starting lineup. Anyways, most improved player of the year is Laurie. I'm going to the Army, Markkanen, SGA, and then Zion Williamson for the jokes. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that one. I think it's Laurie. Coach of the year, Mike Like the Beam Brown. OKC Thunder is the second option, and then Joe Mazuz for third. Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr., and then it's all of the Bucks. All of the Bucks. Brooke Lopez, Drew Holiday, Giannis, the rest of the Bucks. Give it to them all. Give it to them all. Let's keep going. What else we got here? Rookie of the year, Paolo. Then a big gap, Jalen Williams and Walker Kessler. I think everybody agrees Paolo. And then I had some fun. NBA storyline of the year, Like the Beam. SGA is a superstar now. People getting big mad about the MVP. NBA investigation of the year. This was fun. We had Dallas Mavericks tanking. John Morant, all the John Morant, and then Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka, who's now in like every coaching vacancy, which we should talk about. Houston Rockets fired Stephen Coach Silas like while the ball was in the air before the game ended. Dwayne Casey's also stepping down as the Piston coach. And then NBA Who of the Year, Jonathan Williams, Justin Minaya, John Butler Jr., all Portland Trailblazers. Here, I'll throw this into the chat, so if people want to go get mad about it, they can go get big mad. But anyways, I'm glad the NBA MVP conversation can just be over at this point. I'm ready for that to be donezo. I don't want to talk about it anymore, you know? So I'm happy Embiid's going to get it. Then he can be quiet. Fernandez, who is a Knicks fan, just my opinion, but many of the quintessential six men of the year, Odom, Manu, Lou Will, started the same, if not more games. Did Manu start the same amount of games? Anyways, I don't care. I still think Brogdon's going to win. But if he wins, I think that's fine. I think Quickly's been awesome this year. He's been so fun. My favorite thing about Quickly is the Knicks fans. Like every time I've gone to a Knicks game, which I think is only 2 or 3, is just so fun. People love him. They go nuts for Quickly. I want Nick Nurse to Detroit so he can take over for Casey again. There you go. Guaranteed chip if he does. It sounds like Nurse is going to be going to Houston. Yes, I think Sean Grant was talking about Markelle Fultz in the chat. Dude, that story's awesome. The storyline of Markelle Fultz, beautiful. All right, so just a reminder here, we're going to do some So Rare Live Before Lock for baseball in a few hours today, and then we'll have a basketball version tomorrow. I wanted to talk about something that I thought was pretty funny, like what a dumb. So, all right, tweet goes out Friday at 5 o'clock. I won't talk about this too long, but because I don't think it's a huge deal. But Dapper is adjusting their employee play policy, or they're attempting to. And so they tweet out from, let me find it first, from the Dapper Twitter account. Let's see, Dapper, hello Dapper, this new policy. And I thought that was interesting. I thought the timing was pretty fascinating. So, because I don't know how many people engage with this one quite a bit, but here we go. April 7th, and this was tweeted out at 5:22 p.m. So 5:22 p.m. on a holiday weekend, Friday at 5:22 p.m. at a holiday weekend from a Twitter account that literally no one engages with. No one engages with this account, right? Wild. This is like Friday news dump stuff, right? And then I was like, okay, well, don't worry. I'm sure this will be tweeted out elsewhere too, or whatever. Nope, no other accounts retweeted. And then you go to, let me see if I can find it here. It's not posted in any of the Discords or anything like that, except for again the highly active Dapper Discord, which most of you probably left already because it's there's nothing happening here. It's got 9 reactions, same thing, posted at 5:20 on April 7th, the holiday weekend, 9 reactions. And then you go over to the general, and then again, posted in here 5:20, and then nothing at all. So the tweet is an updated policy form. So it's, here we go. I'll share it again. And it's just one of those things where, like, whatever. I don't give a shit if the employees can participate. Weisberg did a long thread highlighting a few of the things that he was like, this is concerning. Whatever. I don't really care. I think there's like great arguments on both sides. Yes, it opens them up for a little bit of vulnerability. But I also think it's like good for employees to participate with the product a little bit. Is that because the play policy affects all of the products and not just Top Shot? Absolutely. I think it does. Yeah. But Perfect Cereal, don't you think, like, if you are legitimately trying to get feedback from people, if you really want, okay, here's a good example. When I was in college, I was student government president. Brag, dab on them. I see going in my senior year, right? We were making like a pretty big policy change when I was there, and one of the rules is that it had to be if a policy change happened, it needed to be posted outside the student government office, because this is like before email was cool, I guess, for 48 hours. And I knew that it was something that we needed to do. I forget what the policy was, but it was going to be a little bit unpopular around a couple of the popular groups, something to do with budgets. So I put it out there Friday at 5. And then I left it out there. Nobody saw it because it was the weekend. No one's paying attention to student government anyways, but let alone on the weekend, right? And then everybody was mad afterwards because, like, yes, I followed the rules, but I did it in a way that no one was going to be able to do anything with it, right? And that's what this is. So it's like, this is, what's the right word? This is like not manufacturing. What is the, what's the word when you tinker with something on purpose? Wow, my God, why am I blanking on the word? Orchestrate. Anyways, whatever. My point is that was not a sincere reach for feedback. That's not a severe, that's not like that you're not sincere and you asking for feedback there. Manipulate. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Manipulate. Sean says the question will be whether or not there's a wall between the employees and the requirements for future challenges. If they front run them with inside information, that would be pretty bad. My point is, I don't even care about that. This is like the same stuff that I've been talking about from the very beginning. Like, if you really wanted feedback, you ping us 14,000 fucking times a day about all of the 80 million challenges going on. But this is the one time you just put it in the Dapper Discord. If it's going to affect all Dapper products, put it in the Top Shot Discord, put it in the All Day Discord, put it in the UFC Strike Discord, which is another Discord that pings 14,000 times a day. And then Friday at 5. And then, of course, like I put in a little feedback into I'm in like a community builders chat, and it's just like crickets. So nobody actually paid attention to it. Anyways, what Matt says, so you were enrolled at a previously all-women college and became president for yeah, the patriarchy is real. I know. So that's my point. I think like I think I'm not opposed to play policy. I don't care. I don't really care. Somebody should be using this product. I don't care. My point is, I'm begging them just to like use common sense. Joshua says, hopefully new users aren't deterred and think, well, if the employees can buy, does that mean what they haven't bought yet isn't great? Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too. I mean, there are a lot of caveats, but here's the thing, like, have an honest discussion around this if you really want our feedback. And if you don't want our feedback, but you're just trying to do it because you pretend that you want our feedback, then don't lie to me. Just don't ask me for my feedback then. Don't ask me, but don't pretend like you're listening to the community. This is the same thing about the monthly communications that we get in blogs, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, open book, we answer all questions, don't worry about it. But then like there's no reminder to like, the only reminder we get to submit questions to be answered in the blog is when the blog comes out. So and I'm sure like some of you heard, because I know like JBB posted something in the Discord, and I've mentioned this before. They were talking about rolling out an affiliate program for like 10 years now, and one is rolling out relatively soon. I think you'll get more information on it this week, and that's great. And like, so now I know there's some people are nervous that like content creators and different community members are going to get information before everybody else. But of course, like in any time something like this happens, you know, all of their purchases are going to be monitored, so they'll know if something weird's happening. But again, it's just one of those things when you like constantly like do this, man. Like, why is this so hard? And like, did they think people were just going to spend their, like, dude, you know, on Good Friday, dude, on Good Friday, that's what we do. That's what we do. I don't know. Anyways, it bummed me out. Yeah. And I reached out to them and I was like, dude, I hope the plan is to ping the Discord and stuff, but I don't know. And you know what? Maybe nobody gives a shit. Maybe nobody cares. But I do think like the last time this employee play policy came up, there was a lot of concerns, and a lot of like excitement around it. I know there's some people like I remember we did a show and Veerman and Tandy came on, and they talked about the pros and cons, and Janie was here, and Sean was on the stream as well. And there was like a good dialogue back and forth. I think there is value in it. I think there's value in those conversations around it. And I think there's value in a policy like this. But again, it's just like another move that reminds you that like they're not serious. It's not a serious company. It's not serious people. Like they just continue to do this. And people will always be like, dude, Zakarin, are you in on this pack? Are you buying this pack? What are you buying on the marketplace? And my answer has been the same. It has nothing to do with like EV. Oh, it's got a little to do with EV. It has nothing to do with like the pack being worth a lot or the moments not being great or whatever, right? I just am looking for them to string together a couple of moves that are W's. And I don't mean W's for the community. I don't mean W's for my wallet or my account valuation. I just mean like, stop putting the gun in your mouth. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. And every time they do something like this, it's like, oh yeah, they're not there yet. And people could be like, oh, why are you fudding, dude? Just connect and collect it. Just get what you love. Like, have a good time. I actually like that the market's down. Because the market's down, I can get whatever I want for like $2. And you're going to be like shutting the hell up in a couple weeks, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't care. I don't care. My moments are locked. Whatever. It's fine. Just like, I mean, because nobody saw that announcement except for the people who, like, again, they literally could announce, hey, we're gonna do 14.4 million Theo Pinson moments, and people are like, yeah, let's go, Pinson, right? Like, no matter what move they make, that's gonna be the reaction. And you saw that people were like, dude, hell yeah, man, hell yeah, they put the blog out, they want to hear from us. But I think anybody who stepped away from that and saw that tweet go out or saw the Dapper Discord announcement. Dude, literally the only time we've gone into the Dapper Discord 2 times. One, when it was first announced because we thought it was going to be a big deal. Second, when Roham did a text AMA. Those were the 2 times anybody went in the Discord. And that's where they decide to put it. It's like, come on, you're not serious. This is not serious. This is you being able to come back in like 2 months in like the May blog post where they're like, oh, dude, congratulations on the playoffs. The moments have been great. This new thing has been dope. And listen, the employee play policy has been a success. Thank you so much for your feedback. That's all they wanted to do. Like, yes, they checked the box. It's like the Rooney Rule. It's like the Rooney Rule for announcements. Anyways. They're doing it because they said they could do it. That being said, I think we're going to get some cool playoff announcements this week. So I'm excited for what they're going to be doing. Andre says, I don't know why, but I've been buying more moments lately because I like to collect sports items. Feels good to buy what I want and not be worried about profit. Yeah, that's true. Can so rare employees buy so rare? No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so, only because there was a conversation around that recently, and because they were saying, oh, they should be able to do it, and they were like, and everybody was like, no, they shouldn't. So I'm almost positive they can't. And again, I'm not saying one way or the other is right. I'm not. I'm more interested in them showing me they're serious. That's all. Yeah, Josh, I also always like Josh. Josh says, I like your stance, just waiting to see. Yes, exactly. That's all I want. I just want to see them like do good stuff. You know? I do think the playoffs is going to be the step in the right direction. I'm pretty excited about what it's going to look like. I'm pretty excited what it's going to look like. All right, I think we're gonna let's spin a little giveaway now that I ended the show on a poo-poo note. Again, I'll do some baseball content a little bit later today. Maybe we can steal G-Dun from Disney and see if he can come on and talk a little baseball. Yeah, so we'll be back for that. We'll do some more basketball stuff tomorrow. Stay tuned. We got a lot of short form content coming out this week that I'm very, very excited about. We're working hard on it, so get excited. We're gonna have a good time. If you win this giveaway, shoot me a DM at Mike Zakarian or in the Discord. Let me drop a link into the Discord. Oh no, I think I put all the links in the show notes, so you can find everything over there. But yo, it's Monday. We made it to the playoffs. No more bad basketball. Well, that's not true. We'll still probably have to watch the Heat play a couple games, but no more like tanking basketball. We're going to get some real lineups, some real basketball players playing basketball games. We're going to get some playoff series. I'm very excited. We're going to be doing some underdog content this week too. Looks like we're going to see some overlay, which I'm excited about. But let's get this giveaway. Last call, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Rudy. And then if you win, I'll send you a little DMZs. Make sure you're following us at Team Holden NFT as well. We're doing a fun little So Rare giveaway over there. All right, here we go. If you win, shoot me a DM. Here we go. Winner, chicken dinner. It's going to be Veronica. Let's go. This rigged. Hashtag rigged. Veronica with the W. But in honor of Veronica, we're going to play a Veronica video. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Monday. Hopefully the weather's warm where you are. It was supposed to be 70. It's like 40 right now. I'm pretty pissed off about it. But I hope you guys have a great day. We out.